Okay, today we're going to talk about comparing and ordering fractions and decimals on a number line. And we're going to just start by learning the steps. First step, you need to graph the numbers. Use positive and negative integers to help you locate the decimals. Okay, so if we're comparing 0.5 and -2, our number line needs to make sure that it is at least that big. So you need to make a number line. There's a good line. And we usually, especially when we have positive and negative numbers, I like to start with 0 in the middle. Helps me out a little bit. And then I'm going to try to divide them as evenly as possible, but it's not going to be perfect. I have 1 and 2 on this side. And then in the negative direction, I'm going to have -1 and -2. Okay. So looking at this, to get to 0.5, I don't have quite $1. I have a half of $1. So for me to graph that, I need it to be exactly between the 0 and the 1. And -2, if I'm working in a negative direction, I owe $1, and then more than that, I would owe $2. So we would graph those right there. Remember, as you move right on the number line, numbers become greater. So if we're comparing these two numbers, 0.5 is greater than -2. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but with fractions this time. The first step is to graph the numbers. And we're going to use the positive and negative whole numbers to kind of help guide us, again, just like we did last time. So you're going to make a number line. And I would probably make it exactly the same size as the last one. You're going to have 0 in the middle here, and then 1, and a +2. That one is super tiny. Okay, and then we're going to have -1 and -2. And if I'm looking at my fractions up here, -1 and 1/3, that is more than -1. So I owe a little bit more than $1. And if I divide this area into thirds, it's going to be about right there. That's going to be -1 and 1/3. And -2/3, that's not quite a whole dollar. So it's going to be before the -$1 part. And so when we need to remember that as you move left on the number line, numbers become less. So I'm going to go ahead and write this just because I think it will be easier. So -1 and 1/3 is less than -1/3. If you get stuck, take out that number line that we made last week, and you're going to complete the back of this assignment. You'll be putting fractions and decimals in order and comparing them also.